My ex-wife took everything, the house, the kids, even froze my bank account using some legal loophole. She thought she had broken me completely, but that rock bottom became the foundation of my comeback. Hello Reddit. I+ here. My name's Daniel Cruz and I was 38 when my world fell apart. One night, I curled up in the backseat of my 2006 Honda Civic, parked at the far edge of a Target lot just outside Denver. That little car had become my home after the divorce wiped me out, not just emotionally but financially too. Lena, my ex-wife, was ruthless. With a sharp-tongued lawyer and a judge who seemed to take her word as gospel, she walked away with the house, primary custody of our 2 kids, and even froze my accounts. Watching her burn down the life I'd built, while starving and exhausted, was surreal. I had only $347 left, my sacred relic, not for food but for gas. I had a job interview the next morning, and if I couldn't make it, nothing else would fall back into place. The Civic reeked of fast food, sweat, and regret. The seats were stiff, the air stale. Sometimes I wondered if it'd be easier just to drive off an overpass. Then I heard a knock on the window. My heart jumped. For a second I thought it was security, or worse, the cops. Squinting through the glass, I saw her, an older woman, early 70s, standing under the orange glow of the parking lot light, holding a grocery bag. Her coat was frayed, her scarf patched, her face weathered, but her eyes carried a softness I couldn't forget. I cracked the window just enough to speak. Can I help you?" I asked, expecting a scolding. Instead, she smiled gently. "Honey, I've seen you here the past few nights," she said. "I work nights inside. Every time I leave I see your car. You look like you could use a friend." Before I could reply, she slid the bag through the crack. Inside were a rotisserie chicken, a loaf of bread, an apple, and a thermos of coffee. At the bottom, a small white envelope. She lightly touched my hand through the glass. "I've been where you are, sweetheart," she said. "Rock bottom. It shows you who you really are and who really cares. You're not alone." And just like that, she walked to her beat-up old Honda and disappeared into the night. My hands shook as I opened the envelope. Inside, $50 and a handwritten note. For gas, for food, for hope. Mary. No phone number, no address, no expectation, just kindness. I broke down right there, sobbing so hard the windows fogged. A stranger had shown me more compassion than my own family had in months. The next morning, I used the gas money to get to my interview. I hadn't shaved and wore the same wrinkled shirt for the 3rd day, but I showed up. I pushed through nerves and exhaustion, and somehow I got the job. 6 months later, I had a small apartment. Nothing fancy, a 1-bedroom with peeling paint and a leaky faucet, but it was mine. I had food, clean sheets, a little cash, and Mary's note tucked in my wallet. Every time I felt beaten down, I unfolded it, remembering her coffee, her touch, her kindness. 2 years later, I had stabilized, rebuilt my life brick by brick. I returned to that Target, asking employees about Mary. An older cashier lit up. "Mary Whitaker? She retired last year, lives on Maple Street." I tracked her down. When she opened the door, gray-haired and slower, her eyes still warm, I held up the note. "You probably don't remember me," I said, voice trembling. "But 2 years ago you fed me when I was starving. You saved me when I was ready to give up. I made it. I got back on my feet because of you." Her eyes welled. "Oh, honey," she whispered, pulling me into a hug. I handed her an envelope with $5,000. "It's not nearly enough," I said. She shook her head. "I didn't do it for that," she said softly. "Someone once did the same for me." That night, walking back to my car, I realized something. Angels don't always have wings. Sometimes they're people in worn coats, tired eyes, small acts that keep strangers alive. Because of Mary, I vowed to do the same. Every year, I quietly help someone struggling, just like she helped me. One act of kindness can change a life. Over the next few years, my life took turns I hadn't expected. The job from Mary's kindness wasn't glamorous, but it was steady. I worked in logistics, started saving, and eventually invested in my own business, a freight brokerage firm. Through long nights, sacrifice, and determination, it grew. By 43, I was thriving. Comfortable home, money in the bank, dignity restored. Then Lena surfaced again. A law firm letter. She claimed I had hidden assets, cheated her out of property, demanded more child support. My blood boiled. This was the woman who left me with nothing, who watched me starve, sleep in a car, and now she wanted more. The court battle dragged on. She came with crocodile tears, painting me as a secret millionaire. Her lawyer tried every trick. But I had learned from rock bottom. Bank records, tax returns, receipts, I had proof. One by one, her lies crumbled. In court, Lena whispered to me, "You owe me." You wouldn't be here without me. I smiled, knowing the truth. I wasn't standing there because of her, I was standing there because of Mary. In the end, the judge dismissed her case and ordered her to pay part of my legal fees. Watching her disbelief was a closure I hadn't realized I needed. She tried one last time, cornering me in the parking lot. Daniel, we can start over. The kids are older. We can fix this. I looked her in the eye. No, Lena. I rebuilt my life once. I'm not tearing it down again. And I walked away. That night, I held Mary's note again. Worn edges, faded ink, words clear. For gas, for food, for hope. I realized the best revenge wasn't court battles or proving her wrong. It was living well, moving forward, and carrying forward the kindness that saved me when no one else did. And that's exactly what I did.